Alright, so switching over to Aria now. This is going to be the glitchless category. So I would say that the circle speedrun we just had is kind of a nice healthy balance of skill and luck. That luck was very, very poor, but we could still win. This game, almost no luck at all. Very much focused instead on enemy manipulations. You can manipulate drops and soul drops from pretty much everything in the game. And I'm going to show that off right here at the first screen if I can. I'm going to go for a frame perfect trick. This is required, so we'll have to reset if it doesn't happen. That's easy trick. Easy every time. So that gets us the Basilard. This is a much improved knife compared to Soma's starting knife. I'm actually going to use it both for combat and for manipulations coming up. Main form of movement here is going to be backdashing. I can also chain backdashes with an attack, something we call blade dancing. I'll show that off in a second here. It's a little bit faster. So now we have another manipulation here. This one's a bit tough. I might miss this one. This is going to get us the Creaking Skull soul. We got it. Now, in the old route for this category, this soul here, this Creaking Skull soul, used to be really important. It was like a centerpiece of the route. But this game has been rerouted a little bit over the past year and a half. And now we use this soul hardly at all. The main reason I pick it up is to get the real best soul in the game, which will be coming up shortly. You're supposed to have flying armor for that jump, but if you backdash cancel jump with the right timing, you can make extra wide gaps. This is the chapel. We got our next manipulation coming up in about 30 seconds here, from the second boss, Manticore. Manticore is a soul I think a lot of players overlook when playing the game casually, but it's actually the very best soul in the whole game, for reasons that will become apparent as we go through the run here. But this trick is tough. This one, technically it's sub-pixel perfect, so I definitely want to save first. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, we're gonna luck sack it. No luck. Alright. We'll aim for second try then. But yeah, the damage I took there totally threw off the manip. With this game, if the manips aren't more or less perfect, it depends on the enemy, but if you do the same thing every time from a load, like I'm doing there, you'll get the same result. But any big deviations will throw it off. There we go. Alright, not too bad.
Do we got time for a quick donation?
Yeah, now's great.
Yeah, we got an anonymous $100 donation saying, "It is late, so off to bed, but I love Castlevania speedruns. Good luck, and I'm glad to help this charity again this year." So thank you, Anonymous, for the $100 donation.
Thanks very much. That's great. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite series. A lot of great speed games. So this is the Manticore Soul. In a nutshell, it transforms Soma into a rushing demon, which is good for a whole lot of reasons. Here's the first one. It's very strong, and it's very fast. The downside is, you can see my MP bar is now totally depleted. That can happen. So the trick is to try to get the most out of Manticore as possible, while conserving MP and using it sparingly. Alright, this great armor fight, we're going to see Manticore being useful against bosses. That is some bad RNG right there. Alright, not a bad fight. Lost a couple of seconds over perfect RNG. Ideally, great armor will attack as soon as you rush into him. I think now is a good time to talk a little bit about, what glitchless means and what qualifies as a glitch. This is the classic conversation point. Because in this game, like a lot of glitchless categories, I'm going to be doing some stuff that can definitely be interpreted as a glitch, or at least something not intended by the developers. Normally from here, you're supposed to go to an area called the Dance Hall, but you can skip that area, and the area that follows it, and go straight into the garden. Now, is that a glitch? It's hard to say. All I'm going to really do is jump onto a platform. Because of the way that platforms are made in this game, the corners of the platforms are a little bit rounded. So if you angle it just right, you can get up to the platform, to the gardens early. So really, I would say more of an exploit than a glitch. But definitely looks a little bit funny, skipping 2 full areas in a glitchless category. So just like that, I skipped 2 areas. It's honestly pretty nice if the developers had moved that platform up even a couple of pixels. You wouldn't be able to get here early. So it all works out. So that's a skip we call the Podolak skip. If you clip onto that platform and jump up, you can save a little bit of the elevator time. It's like a second maybe, but it looks cool. And that's really the most important thing. Alright, so because we skipped so much, we're going to be pretty under-leveled for this part of the game. And I don't have the best defensive equipment at the moment. I'm still rocking the leather plate I picked up at the very start. So I can't take too many hits here. The boss coming up, Death, is also considered pretty difficult. At least in a casual setting. Here, we're going to use Manticore to help make it a bit easier. Nice Medusa headlock. Never seen that pattern before in my life. We'll go ahead and take a safety save. So the idea here is to try and pin Death on the left wall. I'm gonna give that a try here. Yeah, very nice, okay. So you can see Manticore, you know, we picked it up from the second boss, but it's still super strong and super useful, even at this point in the game, and it's actually going to continue to be useful all the way to the end as a damage-dealing tool. Okay, good fight. So that ability I picked up from the room past Death is called Skula. Basically lets me go underwater. And that opens up the second half of the castle here. Now we haven't had a manipulation for a while, but that's about to change. We're actually going to get our first double manipulation. There's a couple of these in the run. They're very tough. I do have some backups for this one though, so we should be alright. One of my favorite little strats here. It's a little bit faster to go on the boats if they're moving to the right. Saves a couple of frames. So once again, as a reminder, I still have that leather plate on from way back at the start. So enemies here are going to hit pretty hard. Well, I guess not the mermen. The mermen aren't going to hit very hard. Everything else will. Alright, so coming up we're going to see an enemy called the Flame Demon. I actually need the Flame Demon Soul to complete the game, but there's also an item drop I want to manipulate. So we're going to use that, and suspend the game. Let's give this a try. Okay, there's part 1. Okay, very good. So yeah, that sword I picked up is called the Levitain. One of the best swords in the game, actually. You get it relatively early, but we're going to use it all the way to the end. Alright, so I'm going to kill 2 more of these gargoyles to get to the experience value I need to be at for this next manip. This one coming up is also a double manip. Very nice, okay. So a few things to talk about there. You'll notice, first of all, that I was using the Manticore during that manip. Another really good thing about the Manticore Soul is it manipulates the RNG in a predictable way. And it makes certain manipulations like that one RTA viable that otherwise wouldn't be. Alright, so here's the Velour fight. I'm gonna take some damage here intentionally. Not too much. But you'll notice that the damage I'm dealing here increased a little bit. That Lubricant Soul I put on, it increases your damage depending on how low your HP is. The lower the better. And if you're at like 1 HP, it does some pretty crazy damage. So, you know, in like a record attempt, glitchless run, you would try to be at 1 HP pretty much the rest of the game. But since this is a marathon, I'm going to try to be at around half. Alright, good fight. I also got that Muramasa sword. That sword's good for a couple of reasons. It's strong, and as you saw in that fight, it can double and even triple hit certain enemies. So we'll see that sword again. But for now, I'm going to switch back to the Levitain. Alright, so just one more manip in the run. To get the true ending in this game, all speedruns require the true ending. You need to have certain souls equipped for the Graham fight coming up. You need Flame Demon, which we already manipulated. You need Giant Bat, which we just picked up after Velour. And then you need the Succubus Soul, which we're going to find in the top floor. Bat's one of my favorite movement options in Aria. It's a little bit faster than walking or backdash canceling. And you can also activate it on and off to get some rapid wing movement at a very low MP cost. I'm going to show that off here to get over this final guard. So yeah, that uses a lot less MP than just staying in bat form. I do want to take a couple of hits here. Alright, that should be good. Nice. So that's it. We are done with the manips. Well, I say that. There's actually a boss manip coming up. It's not for a soul drop or an item drop, but if I can get it, it can make the Graham fight a lot quicker. Not required by any means. You can definitely beat the fight without it, but we'll give it a try. But first, let me take some intentional damage here. Do one more hit. I'm also going to grab this Mana Prism to the right. We're going to use a lot of Manticore on Graham, so I want to have that for extra MP. Nice, okay, there's the manip. So as you can see, even in a fight like an endgame fight like Graham, Manticore is still an incredible damage dealer. Alright, finally we get some armor. Dracula's tunic is a huge step up from the leather plate we were using. I'm also going to get one more ability soul down here, the Hippogriff. Technically optional, but we definitely want it in a speedrun. I can just press L and it's a much faster form of flight. Now we're going to pop it and say hello to my favorite character in the game, Hammer. Hammer is the shopkeeper. And we're going to buy as many potions as and mind-ups as I can afford. That sword I just picked up is going to sell for 22,000 gold. And that's pretty much all we need. Already have 2 potions. I was wondering why that wasn't working. Here we go. Alright, so now we're on to Julius. This fight has a reputation among casual players as being one of the toughest and honestly one of the best fights in the Castlevania series. I would definitely agree. But in a speedrun of this, you actually start the fight with 1 HP. So it's even more tense than it is in a casual setting. For this run though, we'll go in at full HP after saving and I'll take some intentional hits. Once again, the main strat is use Manticore. That should be good. Yeah, so we're already on to phase 2. So in phase 2, Julius won't stagger, so it's a little bit hard to find places to use Manticore, but you know, you can sneak them in. Okay, very nice fight. That was quick. So this is the Chaotic Realm. This is the last area of the game. I think it's also got some of the very best movement. So you got both Panther and Hippogriff at this point. Alright, so this fight, if you go and like read reviews of Aria from the time it was released, everybody will agree this fight's very easy. Casually, that's true. In a speedrun context, this is probably the hardest fight in the whole series. It's notorious among speedrunners. Phase 1 is not so bad, but Phase 2, all sorts of things can go wrong in that fight. Here we're going to go back to using the Baramasa for the double and triple hits. I'm also going to take, like, I think one intentional hit from the dragon. Yeah, that should be good. So one of the reasons I chose to visit Hammer, with all of these mind ups I can basically just spam Manticore, and it's a lot safer that way, also a little bit quicker. So we're not getting a good chaos pattern. I was afraid of this. This is a taste of what can go wrong. That dragon can pop out wherever it feels like. You can get combo damage. It's all pretty messy. Should be close now. Nice, okay. Almost sub 30, that's a really good run. So, okay, we were 5 minutes over estimate for Circle, and we're 5 minutes under estimate for Aria. I guess that evens out, that's good. But yeah, this is my personal favorite game. I think it's an awesome speedrun. I would encourage anybody who's interested to check this out as a possible new speed game. Very easy to learn and get into, and a lot of fun. Well, my last game of the block is going to be Dawn of Sorrow, the sequel to this. So I'll go ahead and switch over to that now.